I'm Tom, I'm 21 and I'm from Stockport. I came to London to study. I knew that I wanted to come to London for like a good few years before I came, just because I knew that there'd be like all the fun here basically. I thought I wanted to do fashion design and I didn't know. I'm studying now an art criticism course at St Martin's, so yeah, I found that and yeah, and now I'm here. Yeah, so recently I've like thought, oh well, am I trans? Kind of like I've been dressing up in London for a good few months partying, and like when you go into this like queer scene, I think then that's how I kind of found, oh well, what is it? Is it, am I a girl or a boy? And I think that, yeah, there's like, you could say gender queer, or there's loads of different terms to describe gender, but yeah, but I think recently I've been like, oh, I really identify with a trans label, but that could change. I think that like sexuality and gender are some things that like as you go through life probably you'll find different facets of themselves and yourself, and it will, yeah, so I guess genderqueer or something. I think even queer itself, just as a term to describe gender, is. So talking to my parents about my gender is something that like I was like would, because I want to have like an open relationship with them, discuss with them like what I'm thinking, but what my dad recently came for my 21st birthday and they came to London and went for a meal, and they're like, well, I guess now I'm trans, like at 16 I came out as gay, and I was like, this is a milestone for me to like think about that side of myself. And then my dad is very much like, oh, you want to have another conversation about these big wordy things and about these issues of trans, because I think for them, especially like in Stockport, that's something like where they're not really thinking about at all, which is totally bad. Like we do live in this queer kind of bubble in London where we talking about these things all the time because it's like us and it's like about ourselves. We're all pretty self-obsessed, so we love it. But I think that they're very open. Like it's hard, I think, because it's like they like don't. My dad's very much like, oh, I don't want to say anything wrong to offend you, but I'm like, of course, in terms of like saying the wrong pronoun, maybe or whatever. But I'm like, that's fine. Of course, I'm not going to be offended. I don't know. I think it's difficult with people, like you forget how much queer knowledge or whatever it is about those issues you learn if you're part of a queer community to people that just haven't, or that isn't part of their lives. So yeah, they're really understanding and really open to learn. I always go off on one when I go back to Stockport and like spout off about like masculinity, femininity in fashion, or like what's going on and expression and gender, things like that. But I think you forget that that's just something which they're not considering in their everyday life in Stockport, which then you go back and you're like going on about. But yeah, they're genuinely okay with everything, I think, but it's just they're pretty chill in a way. I think they have to be, otherwise. I think the internet's had a really huge impact on queer culture because it just gives everyone in those like little nooks and crannies of the world. Like for me in Stockport, that was my whole world was the internet, because I'd like not sheltered life, but like party wise, yeah, I didn't go out much. I was in my bedroom just on Tumblr scrolling through all these articles on Dazed and going on. Like Mikey Woodbridge was like someone who I was just like, wow, they're amazing, and like go through all his pictures. And, like now, then when I came to London, like met those people, met Mikey, just like, oh my god, I can't believe they're real. And I think that not everyone gets to come to London now and do that. I think that for those people still in God knows where of the world, that's their access to all that knowledge and all that information and all that, you know, to see, oh, there are people like me out there, or, you know, you don't even know they're like you when you're that person, because you've not had access to seeing how these people dress or how these people act. And so when you can go online and like engage in these communities, that's when you can find yourself again, like before saying about being self-aware. That's what the internet can give you, that knowledge of what is out there. So we're all finding ourselves, and I think that like when you're queer and you find this queer world for yourself, like it is so exciting. Like why not like really delve into yourself and be like, actually, well, this is something I want to look at. Is it a new gender way or a sexuality? And like that is about yourself, of course. I think people who say who live a heteronormative life, you might say, don't have that whole side of themselves that they're searching, because they kind of know where they are with that, and that's just something they don't have to question. And I think the question is something which makes being queer or being part of this queer community so exciting, because everyone has their own version of what queerness is to them to say about, and I think that's what it was great about being self-obsessed. Yeah, I think that we all are, but not in a negative way being self-obsessed, just very self-aware, I guess. It's,